Welcome to my channel. I'm Johan and this is Yo-Yo Naturals, a natural hair care line that I am developing and have been developing for the last 9 months. So while I have been formulating in my lab, I decided to come on and create this channel for you because I want you guys to have values that I couldn't find showing me how to do this, and I literally had to figure this out on my own. Not only am I going to show you so many great different types of natural hair care that you can do yourself, these are store-bought quality items. And I've actually enjoyed this process, this past 9 months, learning. And I would say I'm not a formulator. I don't have a cosmetology license. I am not licensed in any way, shape, or form. Everything that I will be teaching you, I am self-taught, that I learned myself, and the amount of hours of research that it has taken me to get to the level that I'm at now. And that's the reason why I thought that there was a need for me to come on here and show you guys how to do store-bought quality hair care for your natural curls. And my focus is going to be on the whole hydration. We all know this, okay? If you are in the natural hair community, and trust me, I have been natural for 17 whole years, and this is before the movement, when I literally had nothing. There was nothing on the market for my hair, okay? So 17 years of learning how to manipulate, learning the process of natural hair, because we as you know, Black and African heritage, we were not taught how to take care of our hair. We were not taught the science. We were just taught how to tame. And it's not about taming, it's about loving and embracing and understanding the science behind our curls in order to have healthy, vibracious hair, okay? I'm gonna leave it there, and I just thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's go to the lab. Panthenol is better known as vitamin B5, which is present in all living cells. It's an excellent humectant and gives so many great benefits, such as restoring and maintaining the skin's natural moisture. It also adheres to the damaged areas of our hair and gives it that added strength that prevents split ends. It also is a great form of slip. It gives excellent slippage to any hair product. Glycerin is a humectant. It attracts moisture to the skin, acts as an emollient, and makes skin moist, soft, and supple. It treats oily skin conditions, acne, infections, and helps fine lines and wrinkles. Yes, I'm super sorry, guys. I know you're probably thinking, what? You can substitute this with just adding additional distilled water to substitute for this ingredient. But this is going to be used throughout my entire hair care line. I'm just not ready to divulge the information of this top secret ingredient. It's great for hair growth. That's all I can say. Xanthan Gum helps modify the texture of your products. It's also a stabilizer and helps to stop emulsions from separating. It's also a thickening agent and can be both oil and water soluble. This gum helps with the slip feel in hair and skin care. In this container, you have distilled water and infused distilled water with okra, the actual plant itself. Now, the okra plant is beneficial to use in hair care products because of its vitamin A, C, and K, and it's very rich in calcium. It also helps nourish, and it's very great for hair growth. It's moisturizing to the scalp and can help get rid of dandruff. I will explain in another video how I use and how I'm experimenting with okra as a vegetable. I've actually started growing it. Okay guys, so you have 2.26 grams of xanthan gum and 5.65 grams of glycerin. You're mixing the two together to create a slurry. The slurry just adds a little help when you're putting it inside of distilled water. It just helps stop the xanthan gum from gumming together and in distilled water, but it's just an easier way for it to dissolve. Okay, so here you have 4.52 grams of panthenol. You're going to stir that. It's not going to dissolve straight away. As you'll see later, I'm going to heat this up and it will dissolve eventually then. And yes, guys, I'm so sorry. This is the secret ingredients, which is 6.78 grams of that. Now, you can substitute this ingredient and add 6.78 grams of distilled water just as a substitute until I divulge this information. In this beaker, you have 4.52 grams of kokum butter, 4.52 grams of jojoba oil, and 6.78 grams of Haitian black castor oil. Kokum butter is non-communogenic, which just means pore clogging. It's great for stimulating the scalp for healthy hair growth. It also acts as an emulsion and stabilizer. Jojoba oil is a great emollient. It helps fight dandruff. It also is rich in vitamins and minerals that nourishes the hair. It includes vitamin C, B, E, copper, and zinc. Castor oil is widely known to help lubricate the hair shaft, increase the flexibility, and decrease the chances of breakage. Now, Haitian black castor oil, which is found in this particular formula, has claims to have the highest level of aromatic acids and omega-9 and fatty acids. It's supposedly anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties, which are also known to combat scalp disorders and increase hair growth. Behenyl alcohol is a fatty alcohol produced from vegetables. It is non-GMO. It also acts as a thickening agent, and I put it in there just to give it a little bit more thickness. I didn't want my lotion to be too thick, so I have it at a small amount. It's also a binding agent and considered a solubilizer. BTMS 50 is a mixture of certain fatty alcohols such as cetyl alcohol. It's a thickening agent and emulsifier, and it's great for helping your hair be detangled. It has great moisturizing properties. It even helps reduce flyaways. It has a great mix of quads and lipids, which also help the hair surface and allows it to be conditioned and doesn't have that buildup that is associated with many polyquats. It's derived from a natural plant called colza, which is just commonly known as rapeseed oil. Argen oil is a highly used, rich oil that you'll find in many hair products and skincare out there. It's widely known to nourish each and every hair strand from roots to tip. It also enhances the hair's elasticity and relaxes the kinks to give your hair a sleek appearance. Here we have 9.04 grams of argan oil, and 6.78 grams of Behenyl alcohol, 4.42 grams of BTMS 50. Now it's just ready to be heated and melted down. Now, I know this looks fancy. These are heat plates and magnetic stirrers combined. I have two of them. They're wonderful to use. I'll put the information in the description as to where to purchase these. They are quite expensive, but they're not too expensive. I don't recommend getting it if you're a beginner. You can just use a double boiler method that most people use, just by heating your ingredients in a pan with a light amount of water, and just putting the beakers inside of the water and lightly heating it up that way. Here, the magnetic stirrer is basically allowing me to, have a consistent stirring mechanism so that when I'm inputting the xanthan gum and glycerin slurry, and that it's going to be able to stir it. Because obviously I only have one hand, and so it just makes it slightly easier for me, and it will continuously mix both the xanthan gum, the panthenol, and allow it to dissolve and thicken up without me having to continuously stir it myself. I'm also turning up the temperature here. That's what you're seeing. And at the same time, I'm going to adjust the temperature for the oils. This is a time lapse, so you can see the stirring and the melting happening. Pretty cool to see. Now, it's always best to mix the water phase with the oil phase, never the other way around. It creates a better emulsion that way. I'm not particularly sure as to the reasons or what the molecules do when you do it the opposite way. However, I do know that some people would do it either way. If you have a high share mixer, a very, one that can get faster whipping and break down the molecules in a different way, maybe it just doesn't matter. And right here, I want to show you guys something. I actually left this bit in here because if you look closely, it looks as if the emulsion has broken up. Now, if you ever get something like this, now I know as to the reason why this happened, my oil was slightly hotter than my water phase, which created the emulsion to break apart. Now, don't worry about it. If you just carry on mixing, it's eventually going to settle itself and it'll break up the particles and it will blend in well. So you'll see that. Okay, so I'm just giving it a good mix. You're going to actually have to blend quite a bit for about 20 minutes for the initial blend, and then just let it rest and cool down. At some point, you get back to it and blend it some more. About, every 6 to 7 minutes, you're going to come back to it and blend it a little bit more. You don't want to over blend though. I want you guys to be very clear on that. So there you see, look, although it looked like it was destabilized right there, the emulsion has happened and it's very watery because it's still very hot. I'm just going to test the temperature, as you can see. Yep, it's still very hot, so I'm going to just allow it to cool down. Vitamin E is an excellent antioxidant and it's widely used in many skincare products because it enhances the lotion feel. It's heat soluble and it's a natural plant-based product. Bamboo extract has a high silica content, which is so important as a trace mineral and encourages hair growth. It also helps strengthen the hair and restores the hair's elasticity. Because most of us, no matter what hair type, actually has a silica deficiency, it's kind of really good to use bamboo extracts in hair care products. Cherry blossom extract is an excellent antioxidant which has anti-inflammatory properties. It's also very rich in fatty acids. It helps repair the skin's natural barriers. It also suppresses the increased roughness feeling that's found in hair, when usually caused by washing too many times or using very strong surfactants that you can tend to find in clarifying shampoos. Luicidal SF Complete delivers moisturizing and conditioning benefits, is also widely known to provide broad spectrum activities to protect against bacteria, yeast, and mold. It's also active in pHs of 3 through 8, so bear that in mind depending on what your pH that you're balancing your products for. So here I'm just showing you all the different ranges of fragrance and essential oils that you can use. This is fragrance oils and essential oil brands. I didn't actually show you what particular fragrance oil or essential oils that I use because this is something that you guys can individually pick for yourselves, but I did use 2.26 grams of it. Now I'm just adding the fragrance oil that I have chosen into the preservatives and all the cool down stuff. Now it's time to combine the cool down phase with the rest of the emulsion. Just checking the temperature and it's perfect. So I'm actually going to be, sometimes when you use preservatives and different types of ingredients, it tends to like break up. So the best way to do it is to put it in a small amount directly into the cool down phases. Just mix it in and then apply it back into the beaker just to avoid it not affecting the emulsion. I don't want it to separate. I want to make sure it does it properly. And that's what we do is mix, mix, mix. I'm going to give it like one last beat with the blender to make sure it's all harmoniously blended together and there's, nothing missing inside of that. I want all the ingredients to like flow together. And there we have it. It's just that is the complete ingredients. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Right now, this is the final end. I know this was a very long video. I mean, I literally tried to get an hour and 15 minutes worth of footage into 17 minutes. And I wanted to give you guys a lot of details. Last but not least, you also have to pH balance. I'm not going to go into how to pH balance any of your formulas as of yet, as I'll have a separate video for that. But here I'm just going to use a 10% to 90% water. So I use 1 gram of the actual emulsion to 9 grams of distilled water. Now the scalp and the skin is a range of 5.5 pH. So, you know, anything between a 4 and a 6 is pretty much a good pH. This is a 8-ounce jar. I made an 8-ounce batch. So I would actually prefer a pump bottle because the leave-in conditioner, the thickness is not very thick, and it's actually really better to dispense it using a pump dispenser. As you can see, the liquid is still quite liquidy, but it is going to get just a tad bit thicker, so it can stay in the jar for now. I just didn't have the right size pump jar. Well, that's it, guys. I really appreciate those that have watched till the end. I know it was pretty long, but there we are, finished product. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I have so much more content coming for you. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye, guys.